That was your cue to take it away. I'm doing all the nerdy stuff back here, so you gotta grab the bull.
It's so nice to just show up and not have to lift a thing.
Let's take it next week. We flip that.
No.
I'll give you all the equipment today, and next week you just tell me what time I need to show up and where.
I'll just be on my couch.
That's Casey Meacham. She is my ex, my baby mama, my old ball and chain.
Yeah, I remember that.
You'd never like that joke.
No. Did not.
But it's funny if the uglier person, every relationship, one of them is uglier than the other one. It's real.
Jay, your face is symmetrical.
My face is perfect, no doubt about it. When you're the uglier person in the relationship, though, and you go to a party or something, and you introduce your obviously much more attractive, better half
when did you
as
ever
your ball and
introduce me?
chain, it's funny.
When did you ever introduce me? Where did I go with you?
So everyone that you met,
nobody knew me. Nobody knew who I was. Nobody even knew I was your baby mama.
That's weird. When? From this? No, not true. Maybe all the horny horn dogs. I didn't realize how many 60-year-olds were on TikTok horning it up. Weird, man. Episode 4. Did not expect us to make it to episode 4.
No. Thought this was going to crash and burn.
I knew we would do 2, mainly because I had budgeted 2. So we were going to get there 2. And then I thought 3, it could explode, but I thought for sure by 4, it would implode like a dying star. And yet here we are. Mm-hmm. We almost imploded, though, yesterday.
Yeah.
You called me a dick and hung up on my face, in my face.
I did. You were being one.
I was not being one.
Yeah, you were. I asked a question, just give me an answer. You don't have to go in on me about what I don't care what you have going on. I don't care what you have to do.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this, brother. We're going to give full context here because that's what we are, Casey. We're raw. We're flawed. But most of all, we're genuine, you and I. So, I'll tell you exactly what happened. You said, what time can you do it tomorrow? I said, I can do any time tomorrow. You said, no, I can do 12:30. I said,
I can do any time tomorrow, Casey. I mean, like, what do you want to do?
You just said that you asked me a question and I didn't answer. You asked and I gave you a answer.
Give me an attitude.
I can do it at any time.
You give me an attitude.
My 103-year-old grandmother broke her hip and was in the hospital and was taken to the hospital. Shout out Grandma Sue. She's going to outlive all of us. She's going to outlive all of us and you guys watching. She is a trooper. So that I had just found out about that when we were trying to plan a time to do the podcast. So if I was a jerk, but I wasn't, but if you thought that I was, I had other stuff going on. But we somehow got through.
I love how you always have an excuse. Like, it's just
Is
great.
that not an excuse?
No, yeah. I mean, it's just
And
funny.
are you not going to send love to Grandma Sue right now?
No, I'm so glad she's okay, and I do love her.
I got to try to explain to her that I'm doing a podcast. Actually, my mom gave her like the full explanation, and she tried to explain to her what a podcast was, and she kept saying, what happened with Comcast? And then he said, no, it's a podcast. He's doing a podcast with Casey. And she said, who's Tracy?
Oh, my gosh.
She's 103, though. You know, You got to cut her some slack.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's doing much better.
Good.
She's a trooper. But here we are at episode 4. We're here at the beautiful big country of Bossier City. Look around. We're upstairs. Same spot. This is my room up here. I love it. And we got the garage doors up. You can see the whole.
This is my favorite spot.
You can see the whole. Well, I love this spot because you can't probably see it on the camera, but you can look down and see the whole club. I mean,
that's why I like it.
Truthfully, when you get past the point of just wanting to go out and get laid, if you go out and people watch, you'll realize that is much more fulfilling than the previous life that we all.
Yeah.
I mean, most people have gone through that phase where they go out just to get laid, just to meet people. Don't be oblivious here, Casey. But if you say, screw it, man, that's not fun. That only leads to trouble. And Exes stories. And you just go out to people watch. It's so much more fun. And there's no better place to people watch than right here. You can see the whole club. Mm-hmm. You can see the bull back there.
I can see you cut your eyes to me and look like you hate me and want to kill me.
That's not true. I've never done that.
Yeah, you do it every time I walk in.
You have no proof of that. But what I have is proof. And you know what? I'll put it on the podcast right now if you want me to. I do have video proof of me working and doing my thing. And you looking at me like you want to pounce all over me. And this video's only a few months old. Do you want to see it? I'll play it. Casey, can I play it?
That is not what that is.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm just letting you know.
You be the judge.
It was my birthday, and I was drinking.
No, this girl saw me in my element, and she was like, "Oh my God, that's him. That's the man I fell in love with."
Oh my goodness.
Well, here's the video.
When is he ever gonna give up?
Well, you be the judge.
Okay.
You can't say that in that video, at least for that moment, captured forever in time by camera, that you were not feeling me.
I was happy that you played my song that I like. That's it.
You have to admit here, no matter how angry in the past I've ever been with you, when you come into my club, 9 times out of 10, I always play songs that I know are for you.
You play my song.
And no one else. Like people.
Well, that's what I always tell who I'm with. I'm like, because they're like, oh, he's mad. Like, are you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And then it's like my specific song comes on. I'm like, look, this is my song. It is noticed.
I do it every time.
Every single time.
And then the dance floor clears and my boss screams at me. That doesn't happen either.
The dance floor does.
It never clears. You're right.
Everybody loves that song.
No, they love me. They like the song. That's not true. What's funny is I make jokes like that at every episode, and I gotta stop because I think sometimes people think that I'm really like that.
Like what?
Cocky like that. Like, you know better than anybody. When I'm at the club, I am conscious at all times about how many people are in there that don't like me. It's all I think about.
I think you think about it, but I think that you try to beat it with like this I'm the best, you know?
That's not true.
Yeah.
You don't know me at all then. I'm the last person that thinks like that.
You know you're the best.
No, I don't. I used to, for sure.
Well, you are.
No.
I mean, I don't really care what these little girls are saying. Like, I don't know what they say on Facebook.
They sound just
but
like that.
You know, like, I hear stuff and I'm like, go get another DJ then. And then they suck. You know, It's just like, you are the best in town, in my opinion, at least. And you don't mess it up. You know, when you have a spot,
that's true.
It's just not gonna mess up. I've honestly seen it so many times.
I think I just care so much about it. Like I really care about.
Yeah.
I really care though from a lot of people don't think like this, even with weddings, but nightclubs for sure. Like, the club trusts you to make the club money. Mm-hmm. Like, that weighs on me. You know?
But also you can tell in a mix. Like, or actually, I wouldn't say you. I would say me. I can definitely tell from you doing it in our kitchen all the time. And me being like, this sounds good. And you're like, no, it's not lined up correctly. Like, you were like so specific on it. I can tell now when I go somewhere else and I'm like, ooh, that was trash. And I'm not even a DJ. But like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah. I think it's funny too. My biggest complaint, this might be a Shreveport thing, but when I work, you know, when you work on, basically, I can get through 4 hours. I don't need practice, you know, because the nightclub is the nightclub. It's always been the nightclub. There's things that work every week, but it's funny when you really care about, you know, like a set, like you mark out 30 minutes and you really work on it, you practice it, and it's intricate and there's wordplay and it's hard to do, and then you do it in the club and no one reacts to it. If anything, people are like, the hell? And then you fade it out and play the wobble, and you're the best DJ in the world.
Well, exactly. I really think, like, you know, Louisiana, or our town is so far behind.
Oh, yeah.
So far behind. So they want to hear a whole song. It's like, that's not how it works.
I've always described it as Shreveport is the kind of place where, certainly in the nightclub, they want to be told that it's a good song before they'll believe it's a good song. Or there has to be a line dance attached to it. But, like, I always say, and you'll have the outliers. A lot of times it's young kids that come in for the first time, and they'll say, play this song. And I know the song because I get all the releases. This song was just released 3 days ago. You heard it on Spotify, no doubt. Give it 3 months, and it'll be a hit.
Yeah.
Because by that time, it's gotten enough circulation on social media, and the radio stations start playing it, and then people in Shreveport are told that it's a great song, so now they love it. It's crazy. The first time I ever played Turn Down for What, like when it got released, it bombed. I got booed.
Yeah.
I got booed over it.
Yeah.
Because it was such a weird niche song. And then it became the #1 song in the world weeks later, months later. Anyways, enough about the club. This place is beautiful, though, so thank you to Big Country for having us. And I say it every week. I think I'm just going to stop saying it, though, because no one has emailed me yet about this.
I've gotten inquiries. Like, I've gotten people messaging me, but I just never hear back from them.
We would love to do this podcast at your business. It's easy. We do the setup. Well, I do the setup. It takes no time, and we'd love to talk to you about it. You can just email me, jay@theksbc.com. Episode 4, what is on your mind for this episode?
Well, what I've recently experienced, actually, I've already like kind of talked about this in other episodes, but it was just kind of like, I don't know, the past 2 weeks, I think it just, maybe I'm going through stuff for this in a weird way. I don't know.
What do you mean? What is this? What is
the podcast?
Oh.
You know, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why this stuff continues. I'm 31. So it's just like...
I can tell you why it continues. Do you want to know the real answer, or do you want to just pussyfoot around it? I can tell you. I know the answer to this
because
one.
I put myself around those people?
No. That's almost the answer. But you're not being real specific. I'll be specific. I told you this week. One of these two are true, and it is, you cannot argue against it. Either you only date psychopaths, or number 2, everyone you date turns into a psychopath, me excluded. One of those, don't look at me like that. One of those sentences is completely true.
I don't know. I don't know. I think I am, like, that's why I always say, like, I'm hard because, but it doesn't make sense to me logically, because if I say don't do this and you go do that and I cut you off, why are you mad because I cut you off? Why are you mad now? Like, yeah. And then they hate me, and it's like, what, Artie? I told you not to do that.
Well, your guys are weird because they hate you, but they're so crazy about you. It's weird. It's so hard to figure out.
Well, because if you do put your foot down and you don't, allow them, like, access to you, I think people like even you, like I said, you didn't really think that I was ever going to leave, I
didn't. To be fair, I think I had more reason to believe that than any of these other guys that you've dated. But yeah, I definitely thought.
Yeah, and I think that being with me and I do put myself out there, even though I've been hurt before. I'd give them myself. I'd tell them all about my, life and stuff like that. So I think they're like, oh, she's hooked. And then when they realize I'm scissor happy. I'm a cosmetologist,
You be cutting it. You cut it off.
So, I don't know what it is, but...
You need a block list.
Also, I do think I pick people that are just not on my level. Like, even if we're in the same age, I've been through what I've been through. I see the world differently, especially because I have kids. So it's not a good match in the beginning. But I will say what I've been experiencing is, well, I've experienced this for years, and it's people that, like, I've never talked to, or I have never talked to, getting in, who I'm dating. They'll see me talking to one guy and be like, are you talking to him? And then that guy that I'm not even talking to gets messages about me. Yeah.
I had a girl once, this was recent, I'm not going to say any names. I was going on a date with her on a Monday night, and Saturday night was the last Mudbugs game of the season. And I took a picture with a staff member at the Mudbugs who'd worked there for years, who I love. It was her last game ever. She was moving. So we just took a picture together.
Yeah.
She took a picture with everybody. So I got tagged in it, and I posted it to my Instagram. This girl flipped out, canceled the date. It was like mad at me because she said I was dating somebody else. I was like, what are you talking about? I thought she was joking with me.
Yeah.
And then she said, well, that girl, you posted a picture with the girl, you're all over her. And we're standing like side to side.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, okay, this is probably a good thing then that we don't go on a date.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just stuff like that. Like, even social media, it's ruining your mind on finding a partner.
Yeah.
I think, people that are in relationships or are married, it's looking at it as in a negative way to a lot of people.
You mean people that are in a marriage other people are looking at them negatively because of that?
Yeah, I think there's comments made, and I hear them, and even if it's your guy friend, it's like, dude, like, or if somebody's getting married, or if they're in a relationship. This doesn't go for everyone, there are people that are genuinely happy and like, but mostly if you are single, I see that a lot. But then if you're single, you're looked at as like something's wrong with you. So which one is it? There's opinion about everything now, and my mind is going to explode on it. I'm like, leave people to live their life, and a lot of people comment, like I said in the previous ones, comment on me talking to somebody, don't date her, blah, 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 all that stuff. I'm still experiencing that to this day, and it'll be from my exes, but like I said, I'm like, what did I ever do to you? What have I ever done to you?
It's funny, the stories you tell me anyways, when you have an ex that will tell another guy that you're interested in and that's interested in you to not date you.
Yes.
It's funny to me because that ex is so crazy about you. Like, he'll go and he'll tell somebody else that and give all these reasons. Number one, I told you this. If you like a guy and he will take another guy, especially an ex of yours, at his word 100% and would lose interest in you because of what your ex said, he ain't the one.
Yeah.
Right away. I mean, that's just a weak.
Yeah.
That's weak sauce. But it's funny to me that maybe other people deal with this too, because they'll immediately leave that situation and then follow you around for 2 hours.
It happened this past weekend.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. I'm like, okay, you don't like me, you hate me, so I'm trying to remove myself because I know you want to ruin anything I got. I don't want you to know what's going on in my life, And so I'm constantly trying to remove myself. I was followed from place to place. And I'm not following you. I'm there. You don't want to see me.
Yeah.
Same thing.
You told me earlier in the night that you don't want to see me.
Yeah. Literally said, what he said to me was he didn't want to see my face.
But then he proceeded to actively search out your face for the next 2 or 3 hours.
Correct.
Either you only date psychos or you turn them into psychos. One of those sentences is true. I think social media is interesting because we've brushed it every episode. Can I give you my opinion on social media? I think they're in line completely. I think the real issue with social media is, like you said, it's not even like a necessarily keep an opinion to yourself kind of thing. But I always use the example, stay in your own hula hoop. I really use that example at work because I always find myself stressing over shit that ain't my job.
Yeah.
So I got a hula hoop here. I'm going to stay in it. And the real issue is that everyone and their moms has a social media platform. They have a vacuum of support and friendship, and they love that shit. People also love they love to gather sympathy. I don't know why. People love to be, I wouldn't call them victims because that's lessening what a real victim is. Yeah, they're attention seeking. I think for me, social media is also, it's really brutal on relationships because everyone, like, no one posts their real shit out there.
Yeah.
No one does.
No.
And that's why a lot of people have came up to us. I'm sure you've gotten it. And they like this podcast because we're so willing to talk about that real nasty shit that so many people won't talk about. But social media is that. No one puts, it's kind of like if you just take social media out of it, somebody comes up to you and says, how you doing today? In reality, I'm doing fucking shitty, man. Life sucks right now. What do you say? Doing great, man. How are you?
Yeah.
Right? No one is willing to, certainly on social. So what happens is, though, for singles on social media is everyone you see, they spend all day, every day painting themselves to be living this beautiful, perfect, fabulous life because that's all you see from them on social media. And they think the same about you because that's all you post. And then they get around you and they're like, well, wait a second, not everything is roses and rainbows. I think social media, you see it on any drama post on Facebook, right? You'll have people fighting, bickering, calling each other out by name. And then you'll see 50 comments, people with the Michael Jackson eating popcorn. And people will comment just to say, I'm just here so I see where this goes. It's none of your fucking business. Like, people just love that. People love getting in people's business And social media just gives everyone a platform to put out the image of themselves that they want and put out their opinion on others, factual or not. That's the real danger, is that anyone can go on social media and say anything about you, and no matter what it is, people will believe it. I always say, and I didn't come up with this obviously, but I've always believed in that you believe nothing that you hear and believe half of what you see. And that's the honest truth.
Well, I saw on a billboard, I don't know where it was, but it was in town, and it said the most dangerous person or people are the ones that truly believe, like, in a lie. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, they believe the lie is the truth.
Like people that believe that we actually landed on the moon. We didn't.
Anyways.
That's dangerous.
So, my experience this weekend with that, you know, I have this ex that's doing whatever. I also have someone that's supposed to be, I guess, a friend. Never really talked to him. Never really had, like, a actual conversation. He doesn't really know me, but supposed to be a friend in a way. You know?
Yeah.
Just of, like, a I'm not going to stab you in the back kind of way.
Of course. You got history.
And he comes up to me and says, "You effed up."
In regards
of the, because he's talking now and befriending this guy.
Oh, he's friends with your ex.
Well, I mean, he was very friendly with, yeah. I don't know the extent of it, but yeah. And it was kind of like, he's not only said this, every time I see him, he has something to say. And it's like, you don't even know how bad, like, I wanted that relationship to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He knows nothing of it. But you're going to go ahead and just put your opinion on it.
That's it. So many people think that their opinion on... I have a point that I'm going to make later in the podcast that ties into this perfectly, and we did not plan this at all. People always ask if we plan our podcast. Absolutely not. I think some people have a parcel of maybe truthful information, but they use that little parcel to dictate their 100% opinion. And they give you the opinion. But they don't know shit. They don't know shit
nothing.
About, yeah.
They don't know a
To
story.
me, it's just
they don't know
mind-blowing,
anything.
yeah.
Like, you know, it's projection. You know, and I think a lot of that, whether it's family, friends, coworkers, you know, the internet is horrible because they will project on you their own stuff. Like, when I initially started dating that guy from a while back, nobody wanted him to date me because I had kids, and then because I dated not you, but
the other person.
And it was just like, hardcore. And then even in the whole relationship, there would be text messages while we're in a relationship of them hating on me. Constantly. If I changed my profile picture, their parent would screenshot it and say,
God, that's weird, man.
Why would they put this as their profile picture?
That's weird.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, and honestly, that voice, I know it sounds like a lady, but it was coming from a man. The screenshot. And that's why I say it like that, because that is ridiculous to the point. You don't know me. You haven't got to know me. But it is just everywhere. And I know some people are like, I can't relate, because, like, you know, you haven't gone through, you know, like, not everybody's gone through that, but I swear, man.
I bet in general people can relate to going through their own personal stuff and having, it could be friends. Like, it can't even be this extreme. It could be friends that they love that, you know, that don't know the full story, that feel so inclined to get involved.
Because they're projecting their own stuff on it. Like, you don't know. Like, so you went through your own thing. If you see proof of something that you've actually gone through happening, that's when you can say, hey, I'm here for you, you know. But until then, you have to let that person you care about be happy.
Yeah.
Like, at least give them the chance to be happy, because you don't know the ending to, you don't know what's going to happen. But a lot of that also comes from jealousy, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, but I also think a lot of jealousy comes from being on social media. I think a lot of people.
Oh my gosh, yes. I think that's why this whole town has a problem.
Yeah, I think a lot of people see. I've had to talk to you about this before. I think a lot of people see people maybe that they grew up with that they know well and they're doing well in life. Maybe they're doing better than you are. And you judge them for that. And you think, why did that person deserve that? Why does this person deserve the perfect life and the perfect house and the perfect family? And, you know, in reality, we don't really know what that person's going through. We don't know how happy or unhappy they are. And in complete reality, it's not, you know, it's not up to us to give a shit about how. I just think that's an issue that a lot of us have with social media. Is you see people, you see how they're living, and in reality, that's a lie. It's a facade. It's the version of them that they want you to see. And then a lot of people take that hook, line, and sinker and just say, man, why can't I have all of that? In reality, you don't even know if you would switch spots with that person if you could. It's the dangers of social media, I guess.
Yeah. I've never really looked at somebody and wanted their life.
Well, no, I'm saying I guarantee you there are people out there who have done that.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee you there are people out there that see people that they know in real life, and they see them on social media, and everything looks great and happy and beautiful. But if you really knew what was going on in the house, like, I mean, look at us. We're a great example of that. People thought we were the happiest couple in the world. We did all the videos and the photos, and we had kids, and no one knew that we were going through what we were going through. No one did. That's why everyone was so shocked when we broke up.
Yeah, but I wasn't fake with my life at all.
I don't mean it as fake, Casey. I mean that
Yeah.
we weren't advertising to the world that we were going through shit. So I promise you there are people that were looking at us.
No, I think as soon as we went through shit, we were, I mean, it was on Facebook. As soon as we went through it, it was, we didn't hide it at all.
But we were going through stuff before that.
Yeah, my personal stuff.
Right.
That I was going through. No, I didn't feel like I had anyone. So, I mean, I wouldn't just plaster it online trying to get attention for it. You know, like I wanted somebody that actually cared about me to talk to me about that.
I'm so glad that you brought up you and I, because that's what I wanted to talk about today. I had something. We don't plan these podcasts, and we don't really go through, if you can't tell. I had 20 people come up to me last weekend in the club, and this is on top of the social media stuff. I don't really put much into the social media comments because these people don't know me, you know? Mm-hmm. But then when I got my friends coming up to me and people that I know that do know me, that come up to me and call me an asshole motherfucker because I do not show emotion with you in your moment where you showed emotion in episode 2. I have had so many people come up to me and talk to me about that clip. We did an episode last week, and I said it already kind of started, but it was nothing. I think a lot of people watched episode 2 maybe a week later because last weekend in the club I had so many people.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I decided, this was at the club, I decided in my head, I was like, all right, well, I have to say something about it then. I have to. So I'm going to say something about it.
But we did say something about it on the third episode.
We didn't. And I did a disservice to you and a disservice to the fine folks watching this because I didn't explain it. I said it's a camera, and yeah, a lot of it was a camera. And if we want to be completely, brutally honest about it, in the clip, you cried, and what you said was so sweet and nice, and I loved it. I did. I was emotional hearing it. You were speaking on how if you could choose again, you would choose me again to be the father, for those who haven't seen the clip. But in it, you choked up, you started crying, and I didn't cry. Now, if you go on TikTok, every comment is, this guy didn't give a shit. This guy didn't care. This guy, this, that, and the other. And that's fine. People that know me come up and they say that. And they say, why didn't you cry or nothing? You couldn't, you had no emotions there in that moment? And in reality, if we would have done a podcast 7 years ago, the Exes podcast experiment, every episode would have been you laughing, me crying in the corner. Yes.
It wouldn't have been me laughing. Absolutely not.
Absolutely it would.
I was going through hell during that time. I was. I don't care. I was. I don't care what you think.
My point is, if we would have done a podcast 7 years ago, you and I couldn't have had a conversation because I would have cried the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't want to be judged by people who see a 1 minute long segment and think that I'm an asshole and I'm unemotional. Because I love you. You're the mother of my kids. I love you in that regard completely. I do. I love that you're the mother of my kids. I'm thankful that you're the mother of my kids. But it's not my responsibility to be emotionally supportive of you when you feel emotional. That's not my job anymore.
I said that in the third one. I don't think, I deserved you to call me or whatever.
But it's not about what you deserve or what you don't deserve. It's that my Casey well is completely dried up. And I don't mean that in a negative way towards you. And that, what you said was great, and it's mutual. I can say that without getting emotional, because for 7 years I was the most emotional, because for 2 of those years I didn't leave my house. And you've never met a more depressed person, but there's a saying in radio that if you're on the radio, you're the only one that's not allowed to have a bad day. So I went through all of this with you, and I was on the radio every day, and I was the happiest person that you'd ever hear. And I went to the nightclub every weekend, and I was the happiest guy in the nightclub. And I was around my kids, and I was the happiest dad ever, and I'm on social media, and I'm happy. I didn't put anything out there of what I was really going through and the kind of life that I was really living. So my point is, now that we are healed to an extent as co-parents, and we are friendly with each other, my emotion, like the tear side of it, it's so long gone. And I don't mean that to be disrespectful, but I couldn't believe how many people thought that I was just being an asshole. I have cried so many tears with you and about you. I got none left to give.
Yeah.
I tell Rosie all the time. Rosie is our daughter. She's our youngest daughter. And Casey, you'll agree, she is emotional. She's the emotional one.
She's me. River's you.
The other day we were in an elevator, and I've told her this all her life. We were in an elevator and she started crying because it was moving slower than she had expected it to go. And she started really crying. And I grab her and I hold her and I walk out of the elevator with her. And I sat down, I kneeled down, and I'm talking with her. And I tell her, I was like, Rosie, what do I tell you about tears? And she said, well, we only have a certain amount. I've always told Rosie that. I don't tell her every time she cries. But when she cries over something that maybe isn't that major, and she really starts crying, then I always tell her that you only have a certain amount of tears to cry, and then you run out. So you're going to get older, and you're going to really need to cry about something. Crying is healthy. You're going to really need to cry about something. You're not going to have any left. Of course, that's silly, right? But it's essentially, in adult terms, it's don't sweat the petty things. Pet the sweaty things. If you want to make it, that's funny. You could laugh at that. That's funny. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Ryan. But it's true. And I don't mean that I have no tears left with you or for you. But I just wish.
You just said that. You contradict yourself all the time.
What do you mean?
Every time. You just said I don't have any tears left for you, and then you just said
no. What I mean is I don't have tears left for us at all. Like tears about you or regrets or do-agains or do-overs.
I got nothing.
I cry. If you're going through something, Casey, what do I tell you all the time to this day? You'll call me and you're crying and you're really upset about something real going on in your life. And it affects me when I see you cry. I don't want to see you cry. That's like one of those weird imprint things, I guess. I get upset when you get upset 100%. And if you're going through something, I get sad for you, yes. But
I don't feel it, though. I don't feel it at all.
But my point is, it's not my job for you to feel it. That's not my role anymore with you. My job is not to not make you feel emotionally supported, is it? That's not my role.
No, I'm not saying it's your role, but you were speaking on saying
Well, you said it last weekend. You said, why didn't you put your hand out and hit me on the shoulder? Because that's not my job anymore.
No,
that was my job. That was my job, and you fired me. You fired me. No. I've been fired for a long time now.
Jay, we were talking about caring about each other.
I care about you, yes.
So in my how I'm different from you, when I care about somebody, if I see they're crying, or what, I don't have to know that I owe them something or that I have this role in their life to do that.
My point is, and maybe you don't want to vouch for me then, but
you listen to me, yes.
No, not listen for you. Emotional, I was the emotional one in the beginning of all this, and no one cared. You didn't care that I was emotional when we broke up, when I got
No,
depressed, when
didn't.
that was going on. That's fine. You didn't have to care. It wasn't your job to
Yeah.
care anymore. But my point is, I drained my tears. They're gone. I can't make them happen anymore. Now I can get on YouTube and I can watch videos of soldiers returning home and I can cry like a little kid for an hour. I am tired of people taking that 1 minute of a video and deciding that I'm an asshole for not crying in that moment. And I was trying to make a joke out of it last week, but then all of a sudden more and more and more people talk to me about it. I spent 7 years crying. I did. But here's the deal. I didn't advertise my emotional journey. I didn't advertise that on social media. I didn't put it out there that I was going through this, that, and the other.
No, because you tried to ignore it.
I did try to.
And that's why you're still not over it.
I'm totally over it now. I think right now we're both as healthy as we've ever been. And we'll get in that in the mailbag. You cried a second ago. What made you emotional about that?
Because you told me you loved me.
I do. I've never told you that. I love you I love you as I believe most co-parents who are doing it together should love their co-parent. Right? You know I love you. How have I not shown you that I love you as we parent together, as we navigate life and preteens?
I don't think I need that. Like, I don't even know why I'm so emotional about it. I really don't. I have no idea why I'm feeling like this, but I don't think it's something that I needed, but it's just like shocking to hear, I guess.
See, it's to me, in my perspective, I feel like you know that about me. I mean, every time you call me, I answer on the first ring, and you're going through something, and I literally, we'll talk for 55 minutes, Casey, and I'll say 3 words. That ain't love? That ain't somebody that loves you? Somebody that you can talk to and say, this is what I'm going through, shut the hell up and let me say it?
I don't know.
I mean, I know, like, financially, it's hard to show a level of love that I have for you. I don't have $1 million. I can't show you the world financially that I love that you're the mother of my kids.
I've just never been a person interested in money, like, ever.
Yeah, but my point is, I think in every other way I show you that. I show you that with the girls and how I am as a father to the girls and how I am with you.
Know. I think, like, it's just about, like, your perspective on things, or, like, how what you went through, I went through what I went through, and I, like, got a lot of hate, and I felt hated, and I know.
But I never really showed you hatred.
I mean, you would look at, like, yeah. I mean, that's why what happened last September happened, because I was tired of it.
What happened last September?
When I came up here to get my phone.
When you came up here to get your phone?
And you looked at me like I was a disease, and I lost it.
Okay, well, once again, Casey, when you come into the nightclub that I work at, you're right. I don't want to see you, and I'm sorry. I don't. If you want to rehash something we've gone over.
No, I don't want to go over
when
that
I'm
again.
Working at, when I'm at work,
I don't need you to explain that again to me.
Well, yeah,
I'm not that dumb. I remember that conversation. It wasn't too long ago. Please stop talking about it.
Well,
I
you
get your
brought
side
it up.
Of things. Yeah, but I'm not going into discussing that. I'm talking about that happening and how it makes me feel when you do that. And you don't owe me anything.
But how does it make me feel when you do that?
Let me finish. I don't know, because I was just walking up to get my phone.
How do I know that? At this point, I know that.
Nothing.
At this point, I know 20 times now.
Me and you don't know that. That's my point.
My point is that when I'm working in a nightclub, you shouldn't come into it. Okay. So regardless, how do I know you're coming to look for a phone? I know that 20 times in the past we've talked, and at this point, you know how bad it makes me feel when I'm working and you come in.
A lot.
I could have done a lot too.
I could have really just gone out there, and I mean, I'm not talking about that.
So you think that I hated you because I got mad at you for coming into a club that I was working at?
No, I mean, I think you did look at me like that for a while. Like I was some sort of disease that you, I mean, and like I'm trying to say, I'm not owed anything. But after a period of time of somebody feeling that way and knowing they did something wrong and apologizing for it and regretting it and all this stuff over years of time, and you're still looking at me in that way, and then you just tell me you love me.
I do love you.
That hit me hard.
But
that's the only reason. That's it. Like, that's all I have to say about it. That's my reasoning.
I just hate that. But that reasoning to me is not fair to me, because now all of a sudden it's like, how can you love me but hate when I come into the place that you work?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's what you just said.
I'm not talking about this. I'm not.
That's what you just said, though. Like, that's not fair to me. So now you're saying I'm incapable of loving you because I get mad that you come into where I work?
Okay, I just can't even with this conversation.
No, go. You go. You go and I stop.
That's it. I mean, there's just no way. This is exactly what used to happen when we were together. I can't get through. I'm not going to try.
You are getting through. You're getting through. I just think it's to me, it's unfair.
I want to change the subject off of me coming in this club. Like, I literally
You are the one who made that the topic.
I've admitted that I shouldn't have, like, go back an episode and look at the episode where I said, I think I shouldn't have came here the first year. We're talking about
now you're
last
holding it
year.
Against me for how I reacted.
We're talking about last year, you're 6
That's
apart
fine.
when
Still
I walk in to get my phone from my friends.
Didn't know that you were doing that.
And you look at me like it's different points in time. It's not one time.
It's never right. So now that you and I are friends again, I don't have an issue when you come in here. But we've talked. We're friends now. Are we not friends?
What? You do not have to worry about me coming in here. Like, you do not have to worry about me coming in here.
I literally just said right before you said that now is different because you and I have a much different relationship than we did a year ago.
Because of September.
Well, we absolutely have a different relationship than we did a year ago. Absolutely we do.
Because I acknowledge you looking at me like that.
Which I don't feel like.
You know how people change? When you actually stand up for yourself. That's when people realize you're serious. And you try to talk to them all day.
So you stood up for yourself in a situation that you've already admitted to being wrong in. How does that work?
Because I wasn't wrong at year 6. I said the first year.
So after the first year, though, free reign.
To be able to come to a public club, if you don't like it, this is a public place and people can come in here after hours
you can go downstairs,
at dark.
Go over with a bull over there.
You can go work someone else if you can't
tolerate
tolerate
it. Why would I have to work
it.
somewhere else?
Because this is a town. You're not going to control where I go. You're not going to control everywhere I go.
But that's not true.
After 6 years of not being together. That's
absurd.
absurd.
But I can control it. If I don't want somebody in the room that I'm working in, they don't come into the room that I'm working in. You're not the only one on my don't come into the room club. There's a whole list of people that I don't feel comfortable with because it affects the way that I do my job.
But you can see me the day before and ask me if I want Burger King or McDonald's for lunch when you're dropping off the kids.
Absolutely. What's wrong with that? We're cordial
and
we're
I
friends.
can't hang out with my friends up here,
you can
say
hang out,
hey or whatever. No, like that's just weird to me. That's
I don't think that's weird.
Yeah, because
if you want to put a poll out there on who's bizarre, then I'd love to do a poll on who's bizarre in that case. Okay. Because I think it's bizarre to come up to where your ex works and stand 5 feet away from him while he's DJing and working. I think that is weird.
Okay.
I think that'll be weird 10 years from now.
Okay.
I think we're friends now, and it's different when you come in now.
I think you need to get a girlfriend. That's what I think. I think you need to get a girlfriend. Please, somebody date him.
No one will ever date me again. That much is so obvious now. I am worried that one of us will start dating. You're really mad right now.
Like I said, I cannot wait to meet my husband. I cannot wait. Because I will not have to defend myself. I will not have to talk about this bullshit. I will not have to
But what if you meet your husband and you mess up again? And he wants you to be accountable for it?
God has put me through what I was supposed to go through to make me the best person for somebody. He's out there. He's out there.
It breaks my heart that you don't believe that I love you. That you acted like that was some...
Because that's not how I love. Like, I, could see somebody doing wrong or do me wrong, be upset about it, and in 24 hours, talk to them about it.
We talk about it every time we fight. We always do.
Okay. No.
Did I miss your point?
It's repeated behavior. So you can say sorry to me or act like
Why
everything's
would
fine
I say sorry to
and
you?
you repeat the behavior.
I agree. Look at us.
I don't repeat the behavior. If I know I hurt somebody, I don't repeat it.
I'm about to jump off of this balcony. That's crazy that you just said that. Like, you just proved the point that I'm making. You
What?
just proved it.
Okay. What is it?
We don't. You just said that you don't. Do you want me to talk? Because I'm doing this on for your behalf. I'm not going
for
in.
an hour, please.
No, I don't want to talk about the club for an
Yeah,
hour.
just
But
continue
you
to
just
talk
said if
about
it's
it.
repeated, it is repeated. You came into the club 20,000 times, and each time it's made me upset.
Admitted
Until last
that
September.
It was wrong in the first year. I do not agree that it was wrong.
Agree to disagree.
After that.
It's not okay. Agree to disagree. I love you. I love that you're the mother of my kids. I love that they look like you. I hate that they act like you. Oh, it drives me crazy. They are little Casey Meachams. Mm-hmm. I love you.
Yeah, we're going to be at Coachella when they're like 18 and I'm like, what, 40, 30, 39?
We're going to be so young.
Me, River, and Rosie, we're just going to be hanging out at Coachella.
Why can't I go?
No. We're going to be in all of our desert outfits.
I don't know if I like the idea of my daughters going to Coachella when they're 18.
Sorry.
No, there's no sorry. They got to get ready for college.
No, they have to take care of me because I'm allowed to drink then. So
I was just trying to make a very simple point.
Oh my God, we're still on it. No.
No. I'm on this.
Sounds like
guilt.
Because
I gotta come back to
Sounds
it.
like guilt.
It's certain. Hey, trust me. I feel no guilt.
Okay.
Trust me. Zero. I think that's why I'm so healthy. It's just funny that I was pointing out why I didn't cry 2 episodes, and then you started crying, and I didn't cry again. Now I'm an asshole again. Because I didn't cry in that moment either. But I was explaining why I didn't cry. I didn't think you would get so mad at me, though, after that. We got heated there. That was heated. Will we make an episode 5?
I don't know. You still don't have your shit together, so.
How?
You think you have your shit together?
I think I have my shit relatively together. More than I have before.
Well, when you don't have it relatively together and you can say you have your shit together, that's when you have your shit together.
I have my shit together, relatively.
Okay.
I think it's a relative thing. I think I do, yeah. I mean, I think it'd be hard to argue that I don't have my shit together. Like, in what sense?
Jay.
Yes?
How can a person function by staying up until 2 or 3 in the morning every weekend and then being functional on a Sunday to get house stuff done, go get groceries, whatever, and then also maybe clean out their car or whatever, and then go on Monday and do a radio show at 5 a.m. and then, no, you're sleeping most of the time because you need sleep. You're off schedule.
I don't
you need
sleep
a
most of the
routine.
time.
You need
I sleep
okay,
like
then there's my
3 or
point.
4 hours
So
a night
then-
and 2 hours a day.
Then you crash at some point.
I don't really crash. I just I'm like a zombie.
Okay,
So you mean lifestyle-wise? Yeah, I would agree my shit's not together lifestyle-wise, no doubt. But I'm also built different. It's funny, the older I get...
I have to potty again.
You can potty in about 30 minutes.
Okay.
It's funny, the older I get, the harder it is to do the nightclubs. I used to never think I'd be like that. Now it's like I really don't feel like a normal person until Tuesday. I think we talked last week on Monday. We were talking about doing the podcast, and I was like, not today.
Yeah.
I am not capable of doing it today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I apologize to you. I don't want to make you upset, and I apologize that we fight. I think it's genuine that we fight when we do fight, but I do love you, and I apologize for making you upset with me. I don't want that. I don't want that for you. Why do you look at me like that? I don't want you to.
Apologize for making.
I apologize that you get upset over things that we discuss. Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want that. I'd rather do a podcast with you for an hour where we just talk about funny shit. Let's just watch funny videos. Like, I don't want you to get upset with me over how I feel or how I express myself. I didn't like that at all. I hated that.
This is for the communication.
I hated that feeling.
We can't communicate.
We can communicate. I'm communicating.
I just think we just have totally different outlooks on stuff, and like you said, you're still kind of getting through.
She fly. What am I getting through?
I think there's some stuff that you don't acknowledge that maybe it's a problem for me. But you think I don't deserve to have like problems with you because of what I did.
You mean that I
Like
believe
my
that
problems with you aren't justified because
of what you
I
did.
did something. Yeah.
I am the result of Casey Meacham. I mean, Casey Meacham, this is what's left. So good luck, fellas. You stick around long enough, you can end up just like me. Total mess, but a handsome mess, no doubt. I hate that you feel that way. I don't think that's true. And I hate that I have done something to make you feel that way. I do. Because you have, I mean, I think the best way to describe it is when you really believe something is true and when I believe something is true, it's so hard to get us to find common ground. And that's a flaw of mine. When I'm steadfast in something, like I can't get off of it.
Yeah.
And that's on me. It's not on you. It's hard. Like when I know for sure I'm right, it's hard to get me to see the other side. Damn, Neil deGrasse Tyson said something on a YouTube video yesterday that's crazy. Because it was identical to this, but I know I'll mess up the quote up, so I don't even want to do it. It was basically, essentially, some people believe just enough to think they know everything. You know? Mm-hmm. Everything about, like they believe just enough about a certain thing that they believe they know everything about it. But if they knew more, they'd realize they were wrong. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's like reading half of a book.
I've never read a book.
There we go. That's why we're not together.
How to Eat Fried Worms, actually. I read that book. Is that why we're not together? If I read, we would be together, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think women, I'm sorry to say, but like, I do want somebody that's better than me.
Wow.
I do. I don't want a man that's not better than me, and I don't think that you're not better than me, but I would like you to be evolving. Yeah.
Yeah, but how do I say this without I don't want to start another fight with you.
No, go ahead.
No, I think we should.
Because of my exes?
No, I think we're good for one fight an episode, and we've hit that quota. So I don't want to fight with you today.
No, I'm realizing that I need somebody that is intelligent. I'm not saying I'm the smartest thing in the world, because we know I'm not. I don't like grammar shit. I don't, like all that shit. Don't have a big vocabulary like you.
I don't have a big vocabulary.
But I do look at stuff differently because I feel like I have read things, and a lot of people don't
read.
I think a lot of people see something and like automatically, like you just said, like just it's just, and it's like, no, I kind of explore it, kind of get to see it, just like getting to know somebody. Like you can hear a rumor about somebody I might get burned. I definitely get burned, but I'm gonna be like, I want to see for myself. Like I definitely have to figure things out for myself. That's my personality.
One of the mailbag questions is literally kind of similar to what we're talking about right now. You're gonna love it. Do you want to get into the mailbag now?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Well, before I do, you have to sing the mailbag song.
Oh, did we create one?
Yeah. You don't remember? We went over it. Go ahead and sing it now. You can sing it.
You're just trying to make me create one.
I'm not. No, I'm not. We have a song that we're going to sing live for the mailbag every time we do it. In case you go ahead and sing it right now, and we'll get into it.
You're trying to make me create one.
I am not. I don't know why you're acting like this. Just sing the song real quick.
Can you give me a beat?
Yeah.
Give me a beat. No, I'm done. I can't. I could just cringe. I have goosebumps.
You asked me to do that.
I know. Just to get into it.
Just sing it a cappella. Sing the mailbag song real quick. Sing it. The camera's on you. Sing it.
Mailbag.
I can't believe that you just pulled that out. That was so good.
Thanks.
I didn't even have to pry that out of you. You just came right out like a songbird. And now I'm going to have that every week. I'm just going to play that audio clip.
Oh, my gosh.
I've told you.
Can I do a better one then?
No. That one was perfect. I've told you for years that you have a great singing voice.
Shut up.
You do.
Shut up.
I remember driving in the car with you and turning off the radio real quick and just hearing you go. Hearing you belt it for at least a good second before you get mad at me.
Okay, you're telling them that, and then I just did that.
You sounded great. It was perfect. It was in key.
No, it wasn't at all. Oh, my God.
So our mailbag this week is really great. I don't want to do this one yet because we just got off of something kind of serious, so I'd like to stay away from serious for a second.
Let me pick one. I never. Get to pick
Well,
one.
I have to bounce around because they're on. There's two on my personal.
Let me go.
Well,
Let me go.
you don't. Do you know how to bounce around from my Instagram to the Exes?
I have a business account.
Okay, those are two, and then you can bounce.
I get to pick one.
Yeah, and then we have one that I have that was texted to me directly. That's my favorite one, the top one. I think that's the greatest one.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, but I was waiting. I was gonna say that one.
Oh my gosh.
Now you can go to the Exes though real quick and see what we got on the Exes Instagram. By the way, this is brand new, starting for episode 5. If we make it to episode 5, you can email us questions. Maybe you want to stay anonymous. If you have questions or statements for the mailbag portion of our podcast, you can email exesmail, EXESMAIL, exesmail at yahoo.com.
Okay. I don't see any messages.
I just asked you if you could do this.
I don't see any messages on the
It's not a
Exes.
messages.
Oh.
Just go to the
Oh,
notifications.
my bad. Yeah, it is. Okay. Here we
Yeah.
go.
Miss Social Media Queen over here. That's why you said no guys ever slide in your DMs. You don't know how to get to your DMs. It all makes sense now.
Go back and change one. Oh my gosh.
Can you just pick one and read it? What are you doing? You know, the purpose of the mailbag is not to read it first and then pick one. It's just to pick one like a grab bag.
Huh.
Pick
Okay.
any of them.
Okay, I got one here. If you could go back and change one thing about your relationship, what would it be?
Our relationship together?
The whole thing.
Ooh. Up to this point?
No.
Like, so not up to today.
I would say the romantic relationship.
Oh, I would take you more serious. I would spend time working when I was at work, and I would spend time on the family when I was home. It's the honest to God answer. I think a lot of times I blended the two. I cared a lot about work when I was at home, and it got me nowhere. So.
I think that's the difference between me and you. I really don't have a lot of regrets when it comes to our romantic relationship, but I do, I wish it wouldn't have got to a point where I felt like I was doing a masculine role, because at the end of our relationship, I know when you came home, I was very just felt like I was in complete control and very...
Do you think that was because I was so disconnected with life stuff, and I was so focused on
I think you didn't have a
work
clue
and
what
what's
was
next
going on
work-wise?
at
Yeah.
home or with me or anything like that. But I did feel very manly, and so when you got home and you said something, and I would have all my snacks and we were going to play PUBG, I didn't really talk to you about it. I would literally be walking and we're playing PUBG tonight.
Yeah.
And we would just go and just game all night. And
I just remember that being
was super
so much fun.
But I wish that was super fun.
Yeah.
But I wish I knew at that point I didn't feel loved or cared for, and I wish.
So what's your regret?
I wish I would have said something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I wish I would have kind of said. I don't know if it would have mattered. I don't know what you would have said to me back then, because you were so everything's fine. But I wish I would have, instead of writing in my journal, maybe brought it up to you. But I also was scared to talk to you about things.
Why? You have to say why, because that makes me seem like an abusing monster.
No.
You cannot end a sentence on that note. Why were you afraid to talk to me?
Because I could see how much you were doing. I mean, you see what you're doing, and honestly, for me to grab your attention, ask for something, I don't know, I didn't want to ask for anything. And I still don't to this day. Regardless of who I'm with, I don't ask for stuff.
So your regret, you wish we would have vocalized.
Yeah.
I share that regret. I also regret we made a deal early on in our relationship that I'd give you some type of massage every day for the rest of our lives together.
You want to know what that deal?
By the end of it, it turned into this.
No, you know.
And then I'd fall asleep. But
why that deal came
no,
about?
can I finish?
Let me tell you the
Let
story.
me tell you the story.
Let me tell you the
Yeah,
story.
tell us how the deal came to be. That I would get, listen how stupid this premise is. I'll give you a massage every day for the rest of your life. That was the deal.
No, it was for a month. It was for 1 month. You did.
I'm
give
about
me
to walk off
massages.
the podcast. I'm going to walk off of it right now.
No, you did give me massages all the
Casey,
time.
for years,
Yeah,
every day.
you did. I'm
Every
not
day.
taking
And
that
you
away
would,
from
you
you.
would say, massage
Not
time.
taking that away from you.
You just said the deal was for a month.
It was. When we made the deal, I said, okay, since you lied to me, you're going to massage me for 30 days. When I made that deal, I remember. I remember even looking at you.
wasn't
I remember
30 days.
what haircut I had.
Casey, I felt legally obligated to give you a massage every day
it was
for
30
years. And I
Okay.
did. Every day I
No,
did.
okay.
I did. You might have hated the massages, but I did. God, you changed.
You didn't do-
The
that's-
fact that you have
that's just-
twisted history in
that
your
is
head
just
so.
ridiculous. You did not
It's
give me a massage
ridiculous.
every day, Jay.
I did. Every single day I did. That's crazy that you have
No, you
somehow
probably did every.
changed it. I can't even wrap
You
my head around
probably
it.
did every time I asked you to.
I did it every day because I felt legally obligated to do it every day. Now,
Okay.
some days were worse than others.
Okay, this is why.
Head scratches?
This is exactly
Head scratches every day? Head scratches every day?
Because I asked for one every day. If I asked for one, yes. But every day for the entirety
We are
going to
fight about this for the next 7 days off the
no,
podcast.
I really don't even care that much to
I
talk
care
about it.
because this is such a weird thing to change about our lives.
Okay, I was just talking about the deal. It was 30 days, and I remember why, and it was because you had lied to me about
About what?
something. Because you didn't want me to bring up the lie, and I was upset about it, and so it was...
I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
it was a
what is
lie.
it? Say
I'm
it
not
then.
bringing it up. It was a lie.
I lied about something and got caught.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it bad? Serious? A lie.
Yeah, you just lied about it. And I was pissed, so I was like, okay, well, now you're going to rub me for 30 days straight.
I just can't believe that something that and even if what you're saying
Well, you
is
didn't
true
like
in your
giving
opinion.
massages because you said it hurt your
I
fingernails.
hated giving you a massage. Yeah, but I certainly wouldn't remember something that I only did for a month.
No, you always gave me massages throughout our whole relationship. I'm not saying that, but the deal, when we made the
Because I was
deal, because of the
obligated to.
lie, it was 30 days.
Quick hits. I'm not your regular demo, but your guys' dynamic is great. And Casey is a smoke show. It's a lot of comments like that, by the way, on our TikTok. It says, I texted you this week and asked you to send a TikTok in because people on TikTok, they don't like me. They want to see Casey. You are the hook and the bait. Any response to that? Your smoke show. Congrats.
Thanks.
Tell us about, and we can just do a quick one. Tell us about your red flags when you meet someone new.
You can go first.
When they have a Snapchat score over 100,000, I've said that before.
Yeah.
To me, that is an immediate red flag. Get the hell out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, another red flag that I have. I'm not picky. I don't really have that many red flags. I think, you're going to hate this one. And I don't want to start a fight. And I say it because I believe it's a red flag if a guy does this.
Yeah.
No, don't say yeah, because you're about to say no. It's a red flag for me if a girl has a lot of guy friends.
Yeah.
I do believe that's a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way, I believe that if I had a bunch of girlfriends, that a girl would be icked by that for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Red flags for you?
I think these are non-negotiable red flags. Like, if you see them, you do not talk to them.
Yeah. This ain't a caution flag. This is a red flag.
Because sometimes I see a red flag and I'm like, well, maybe.
I always say I can fix that red flag.
I'm like, this might be fun. I don't know. You can look at when they follow you on Instagram. I think it's so not smart when a guy that likes me follows me on Instagram and I follow him back and he allows me to follow him back because I can see everybody he follows.
Oh, wow. So if you like a guy and he likes you, and
He meets
you
me. He adds
see,
me on Instagram.
and you go and look through everyone he follows.
Yeah, see what
Wow.
type of woman he follows. It's not
Wow.
really who, because I really don't, like, even locally, I don't really know a lot of people. So it's
That
like,
is so deep.
but like the type. Yeah.
What if you follow them and they only follow 2 people, you and their mom, or something weird like that?
Should be like that.
That would be a red flag to me if they only follow like one person. That's interesting though. So you look at who they're following. And
Also, the majority of guys that have talked to me or whatever tried, like, it's like they are following a larger number than they are followed. I think I have like 1,500 followers on my Instagram, and I'm following 40 accounts. I'm following 40 accounts.
Mm-hmm.
And every time, so that's why it stands out to me, because I only follow what's gonna.
What you want to follow. You don't give out follows as a sign of, oh, you don't do follow for follow, basically.
Absolutely not. And I also follow stuff that's gonna make me better.
Yeah.
And not make me feel bad about myself or all that stuff.
Just because we only have about 15 minutes left. I thought that was a great question, though. I can do this one real fast. Jay, have you truly forgiven Casey? If so, what did it take for you to reach that point of forgiveness? I think you would agree that I have.
I don't think you've forgiven me, because I don't think you could ever be with me.
Yeah.
So,
never.
like, full forgiveness, no.
Yeah, like, what is the level of full? I
Yeah.
think forgiven to the point where we could sit down. We do argue, but I think anyone certainly who has a history that we have, take all that bullshit aside, just being with somebody for that long, I think you'd have arguments with them. So,
Well, just think about the point that you got to where you
I
could
can
tolerate
tell you completely.
me
It was when we had that phone call last year.
in September.
Without question.
Or it was in August. It was in August.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just because and we don't have to talk about everything that we went through in that phone call, but when you called me, you basically it was the first time where you were really emotional, and I felt like you actually maybe felt a percentage of maybe what I was feeling, and you kind of felt bad about that. And to me, that was all that was missing. Even before then, we were co-parenting, we were talking, yes, but that was the first time where it was a phone call where it was purely about, I understand, and I'm sorry.
I don't think it was the phone call. I think it was because I lost my mind
What do you mean?
the night before.
I don't remember the night before.
That's the whole reason for the phone call. What phone call are you talking about?
I'm talking about the phone call where you broke down crying at the pool.
That was 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's the one then. The one where you broke down, that's when I forgived you for doing it. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Without question. That's when I forgived you for it, because that's all I was missing up to that point was an acknowledgement of this thing was bad, and I'm sorry for doing it.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, I just never felt like I had that.
realized, like, I shouldn't be in a relationship because I'm still going through something that I wasn't acknowledging because I was upset prior. So it was like a tit for tat kind of thing with me and you, where I was sad for years. You weren't acknowledging it. Well, then screw you, bye. And then you were sad, and I'm like, I was sad forever. Like, I've been doing so much stuff, whatever. Like, it was like an immature mindset. It was like, goodbye. And then when I actually acknowledged what exactly went on in your feelings and my feelings with both of us, it was like, it just dawned on me, like, wow, like, didn't even see it from the other side.
Yeah. I think for me, I'd asked for years and years just to get you to relate to me on some level. And for whatever reason, I just not saying that you didn't, but I never felt like you did until that call, because you were upset and you broke down, and I think I might have broke down in some degree, some way.
Well,
I got upset about it too,
said,
but I think
that's why I said people in their 20s, with all of the social media and everybody in your business and your friends in your business and giving advice here, getting advice there, like, you need to create a solid foundation for yourself. If you were losing your mind trying to get advice, you need to trust yourself, figure out how to trust yourself, figure out where your values lie and stuff like that. Because of, you're growing up. This is when you're growing up. You think you're grown when you're 20? No. You're growing up during 24, 25, 26, 27. That's when you're growing up. And so some people don't. And sometimes you have to let go of friends.
What was your best year, age-wise? Like you just think back and you're
I
like,
think I'm living it.
you're right here. Yeah, I was gonna say it.
I mean, I loved being 29, but I was going through all that drama still. I mean, I still go through drama to this day. You can't avoid it. I mean, I have to remove myself. I just learned that. I literally have to remove myself from people that I do care about but are not good for me.
Yeah, you are just now learning that.
Yeah, because
That's
I do like people.
We had the best podcast ever, by the way, on Monday on the phone. That was a girl. We talked for like an hour. That was the best podcast we've ever done.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't be around people that aren't going to have my back because that is something that gets under my skin when I'm a loyal person.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I'm being polite. No, you are my friend. When I think of a friend, I think of somebody that has your back. They're not, anyway, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like.
I think most people too. I know for me, I probably got 6 or 7 of those, and I think that's healthy.
Yeah. And
Like
so
you don't
it's
need. My
very
point is, you don't need
frustrating.
50
Yeah,
of those.
Yeah.
You need
So I
some
think,
ride or dies.
Yeah, for sure. At this age,
27
I'm
for me,
very
man. I got fucking screwed. COVID screwed me. You go back and look. I'm not a bragging kind of guy, but I'm telling you, when I was 27, I had it going on. I was about 20 pounds lighter, had a really healthy beard. I don't know why, man. Everything was just hitting right in my life. I was hitting home runs every weekend, if you know what I'm saying. I was hitting home runs every weekend, then COVID hit. And when I got out of COVID, I was this monster that you see before you today. COVID took it away from me. This one's real fast. What's your go-to night outfit?
huh?
Go-to night outfit?
Night outfit.
No, I don't want to hear about your moo-moos, although I bet some of these guys
Moo-moo.
would. What is your go-to night out fit? You're going out on the town. It's a night out.
You know, I'll go in sweatpants, so.
That's true. She's been turned down at establishments for
No,
not meeting the
I've
dress code.
actually never, ever. I've gone in multiple steakhouses with my sweatpants and Chucks on.
Sweet brag.
Yeah.
All because of me.
No, definitely
I'm classic, man. All black. All black and a colorful. I like to wear hats that match my shoes. Like I'll wear a fedora or whatever. That sounds so corny to say out loud, but I wear like the hats that I wear, and I'll wear all black, an all black outfit, shoes that match the hat. They're getting in bed with me, guaranteed. Do you want another sex story? I got one.
Go with it.
No, you don't want it. You don't want it. People were
Go
upset
with
last
it.
week that I didn't tell it though.
Go with
People were mad. No, I won't, because I won't tell the sex story right now because I love this question so much. Because I know how this is going to go. I'm going to tell you the question first, and then I'm going to tell you how it's going to go. My man, Leighton, says, what would the ideal be? God, I just totally ruined that. What percentage are these things?
I'm out again.
What would the ideal person be for Jay Bird and Casey? Choose each other's soulmate.
Each other's?
Yeah, that's a great. Leighton,
Oh
you
my
are the
God.
man. Also, anytime somebody calls me Jay Bird, I know they're an OG.
Mm-hmm.
They're classic.
Like, literally, Jaybird in my phone.
Really?
Look.
Oh, that's fine. No clue. I don't even want to show you what you are on my phone.
You've been like that forever. With the TM to, like, trademark it.
Jay Bird.
Jaybird trademark.
That's a old Dixie baseball name. We only have 10 minutes. 8 minutes. Holy shit.
My neck is
This podcast is going to go
killing me.
long. Casey's soulmate. Wait, this is how this is going to go. I'm going to tell you everything that I know about this girl.
You're going to get it wrong.
She's going to tell me everything's wrong. All of it. Because she's going to say,
He failed.
she's gonna,
He failed the test.
who failed?
You.
What test did I fail?
You failed what I grew up wanting.
Oh, you grew up wanting a guy that was 5'6" and overweight? With Nike swooshes tattooed on his feet? Trust me, I am not your soulmate.
It was not about parents.
I mean, God, I was so close to saying it, and you said it first. Damn. I was going to say I'm going to call her soulmate out because I know her soulmate well. And she's going to say, I don't care about looks. Bullshit. Tall, without question.
What
Can I
height?
finish? 6 foot minimum, okay? I'm describing your soulmate.
That's a lie.
I am describing the person who I think is your soulmate.
They do not have to be 6 foot.
This is not saying what you think. This is what I think. 6 foot tall, minimum. Okay, 5'10", hell no, out the door. 6 foot,
That's a
and we're
lot.
talking blue eyes. The girl loves her blue eyes.
Or
Trust
green.
me,
Anything but brown, but I do like brown eyes.
this is not
Okay.
what you think your soulmate is. This is what I think your soulmate is. Okay, 6 foot tall, blue eyes. I'm gonna go with this one might be controversial here. Mid-30s. I'm going to go with 34, 35 currently.
36, 37.
It starts getting weird the closer you get to 40.
It would be great if it was 40.
If finally you date somebody that I could get along with, I'm sure. Okay, that's my idea. 35, blue eyes, 6 foot tall. I'm going to say it. Not because I think you're this kind of person, but I certainly think it helps all relationships. It's one reason I don't date a guy with some money. Not because you're that kind of person, but I think your soulmate's got to have his shit together in that regard.
I think you just bottom line, you have to have your shit together.
Got to have your shit together. So I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, like I
'Cause
said,
I
I don't.
do a lot.
Yeah. Okay. I think he's got to be a little country. I think he's got to have a little country on him. I do. You're from the countryest town.
Absolutely not.
You're from the countryest
Exactly.
town
So
in America.
I've
you love that shit.
No, I've had.
I'm not saying a Wrangler cowboy.
I haven't had options.
I'm saying you want a guy with you want a guy that'll go to a country concert and sing along. And you want a guy that does everything you say with no hesitation. If he is submissive to you and your request, but dominant when you want him to be dominant, which you'll never tell him when that is,
when I don't want to do anything.
then you'll find the man for you. That's your soulmate. Mic drop.
I want him to love me.
Yes.
I want
But-
if I'm upset,
you want him
he
to have
takes it a big deal.
supernatural Casey Meacham
No,
reading powers.
if I'm upset about something, I want him to be able to calm me down, and I want him to look at me and be like, "It's okay, stop being crazy," and then I want him to fix it.
I agree. All right, give me mine.
Oh my gosh.
I got mine in my head for sure. Oh, I can see her now. She might be watching this.
25 years old.
That's old.
No older.
No older. Oh, I'll shut
It's
up.
gonna be 24 or 25.
Why don't you think I like older girls?
Because you don't.
That's true. Sometimes they got some extra jewelry.
Blonde hair.
Some Jingle Bell jewelry.
Will you shut up?
What color hair?
Blonde. It's blonde.
I love brunettes, man.
Blonde hair. They have to be shorter than you. You like brown eyes, I think.
I do.
You really don't care, but I yeah.
Love brown eyes.
And she has to think you're the most hilarious guy on the planet.
That's not true. I like it better when they don't think I'm funny, because then it makes what I find humorous to be more humorous when they don't laugh with me. Can I make 2 corrections? I don't even think
No,
you know
I'm
who
not
I am.
finished.
Oh, okay.
And they have to like watching really bad golf.
Wow. That's so funny. I totally forgot. One of my things for your soulmate is that he can't play golf at all. Like he must hate the sport of golf.
I like going and driving the golf cart.
I am a much better golfer than I was 8 years ago.
I used to always go golfing with you.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm way better now. So
Uh,
the golfing is improved.
I mean, I like doing that, but if you're gonna make that like your purpose at what we're 30, that's something that 60-year-olds do. I'm not gonna be with a 6-year-old. Sorry, it's boring.
Golfing is the most amazing thing a human can do in this world. Right next to skydiving and having kids.
And there's people
It's
hungry, starving on the street.
I can't begin to tell you the amount of joy that a man has in his life when he pulls up to the golfing range and he's in the parking lot. He rolls his window down and his buddy pulls up next to him in the truck and he says, "What's up, fucker?" It's the best joy a man can feel. There's not a care in the world for the next 4 hours, and life is good. And then that ball drops into that 18th cup, and fuck, man, the world hits you like a ton of bricks because now you got to go back to doing whatever you do. Golf is awesome.
So it's like an escape.
It's completely an escape.
I just do that on video games, though.
Huh?
You just do that on video games.
Yeah, but video games aren't real. Golfing's real, man. I love golf, and I'm bad at golf. I'm really bad. I was just kidding about being better. Cheers to you.
Man, that is a lot.
Next time you cry, I'll be right there to pat you on the shoulder. I'll be patting you right there on the shoulder. It's okay.
It's not that I want you to. I want you to... It's like I'm trying to get you over this hill.
Yeah.
And you don't see it. You don't see it for yourself.
I got a crazy...
You have a wall.
I have a crazy thing for you. What if, though, in reality, I'm so far past that hill that you couldn't even wrap your head around it?
But it's not about me.
Yeah.
The wall is not about me. The wall is not a Casey wall.
I think my wall is way behind me, though. I think I'm just so far beyond it.
No.
All right. We'll dive into it in episode 5.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and wrap this sucker up, man. I'm kind of drunk.
Thank you for watching or listening to
You
the
remember.
Exes podcast, episode 4. Be back next week to
Hopefully-
listen or watch.
hopefully
You're
Friday.
interrupting my outro again.
I just feel like we have done bad at episode releases lately. Friday or Saturday, right?
Yeah,
I won't interrupt you again. Say anything you want.
that's it. I'm done.
Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
You sang again.
Oh my God.